Hi, hello guys. Welcome to my channel, and I'm Bots. It's my first time, doing these kind of videos, so I'm a little bit shy. So please bear with me for a second. But yeah, as you guys can probably tell by the title, today I'll be reviewing, or not reviewing. I mean, like talk about this board right here. This is the GMK67. I know this is not actual GMK. It's just named the same, but with the number at the end. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not sponsored, nor am I an affiliate to any vendors, so I don't get money for doing this. These are all my own personal opinions about this board. But yeah, so just to let you guys know. So, a quick story. Yesterday, one of my friends watched my build video of this keyboard, and then he DM'd me on Discord and said this: "Hey, just watch your build video of the GMK67. Your video sucks, but the board is fine AF. Planning to buy one and build it since it's cheap, but don't know if it's a good choice or not. Can you make a video reviewing this board for me, bro? Thanks." And of course, as a good friend, I replied, "No." So yeah, obviously I declined with passionate hatred towards my friend, but afterwards he threatened me to unsubscribe to my channel. And as petty as I am, and since my channel is relatively small, me just look at that sub count. So I reconsidered my decision, and in the end I say yes, I'll do it. So here it is. Alright, now first of all, let's look at what we get for the value of this board. This is a $40 budget for a gasket mounted 65% keyboard kit that is made out of plastics. It has tri-modes, and it comes with a knob. If you guys are into knobs, just like me, then this is pretty exciting. I mean, at least for me. And to me, it looks amazing for the price. On the top view of the board, you can see it looks kind of like a budget Zoom 65, and I don't know, I'm kind of digging it. Like I said, this is tri-modes, so you have Bluetooth, you have 2.4 gigahertz, and also you have wired connection. So yeah, let's look at the details, shall we? The box of the board looks pretty meh, and inside we have the board itself, an user manual, a braided USB-C cable, and a 2-in-1 keycap and switch puller. Pretty basic, I would say. So let's look at the keyboard. As I said, I love the look of the board, but there are still some minor issues that I found with the design of the board. For instance, as you can see right here, this is the spot where they store the 2.4 gigahertz receiver, and it's kind of sticking out a little bit. I wish they could put it in just a little bit deeper so that it fits in, like it's just completely inside. Yeah. So it looks kind of out of place, and also it feels really light. I mean, like it's super light, and the case feels pretty flimsy, and as you guys can see, it flexes like a lot. Come on, it's $40, and for that price point I couldn't ask for more. To be honest, it's still a pretty solid board for $40, right? As you can see, there are no screws whatsoever to secure the top and the bottom case. So in order for me to open the board, I had to pry it open. And let me tell you, I spent like death minutes just to separate the top and the bottom of the board. It uses this kind of a clip-in mechanism. I don't know what it is called, and I do aware that some other boards, they do use the same kind of mechanism to secure the top and the bottom case. But this is different. This is at another cosmic level, because it's so hard for me to even get it out. It feels kind of like a torture. So after I separated the top and the bottom case, eventually, we got a closer look of the interior of the board. So this board is gasket mounted, and it's using Poron gaskets, and there are 4 standoff screws for the PCB and the plate. The board came with a PC plate, and it doesn't really have any other options. If you are more into like the bouncy typing feels, then PC plate or palm plate tends to flex a lot more than, let's say, aluminum. For me, I'm more of a stiff kind of guy. Yes, I did just say that. So I really don't like the typing feels on polycarbonate, but it is about personal preference. I don't like it, doesn't mean that you guys have to be on the same boat as I am. If you guys like it, then good for you. But if you don't, then we have something in common. So let's sit down for a cup of British tea then. Eh? I need therapy. Alright, I'm just kidding. Let's move on. And this board came with a hot swappable PCB, and it has south-facing LEDs, which means you don't have to worry about your switches having interference with your cherry profile keycaps. And it is using Kill hot swap sockets. And I have to say, the PCB looks pretty darn clean, if I do say so myself. And it also supports screw-in stabilizers. I mean, for the price point, that is a huge plus. I mean, However, even though the PCB supports screw-in stabilizers, but the plate does not. I mean, it's just not compatible with, screw-in stabilizers, since the cutouts for the stabs on the plate basically just does not fit. I tried my Duroc V3 stabs and also my TX stabs. Both of them are PCB mount and they did not fit. Speaking of stabilizers, this board came in with plate mount stabilizers that is already pre-looped, and as you guys can see, they are heavily looped. I had some high expectations for the stock stabilizers, but after I tried them out, they are pretty average. They did put effort into it. Unfortunately, I didn't record the sound of the stabilizers in stock form, but I can tell you, some of the stabs still have a bit of rattle, especially on the spacebar. But if you are generous enough, I think they might be passable. But for me, I would need to mod them to make them sound as good as how I want them to be. I did not mod the stock stabilizers in my build video, but later on I did try to mod them. And what I have done is basically I did some wire balancing to make the wires like completely straight. I re-looped them with 205G0 for the housing and XHT-BDZ for the wires. And this is what they sound like right now. Pretty solid after modding. So for the stock stabs, I think they still need a bit more work to be good, but if you are generous enough, like I said, then it still might be possible. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. All of that out of the way, let's talk about the dampening of this board. So in the case, we have a layer of thin case foam, and it doesn't do much. It's still really hollow, the case, and I feel like someone just stole my cat. I mean, I feel empty. So, in the build video, I decided to add another layer of EVA foam, and it does the trick of reducing the hollowness of the board. Move on to PCB and the plate. The board has a pour-on plate foam and a pour-on switch foam that goes between the PCB and the switches, which to me is a pretty good deal considering the price that you pay to, actually get this board, right? For my build, I did keep all the foams that are included in the kit. All I did is I added another layer of EVA foam for the case, and I did the tape mod. I used 3 layers of masking tape. The switches I'm currently using are the ACO CS Crystal, which has been looped with 205G0. Yeah, and the keycaps are clone GMK Olivia. So, for those who have not watched my build video for this board, this is what it sounds like. That is creamy. Oh gosh, man, it sounds so good. I don't know. Come on, look, don't tell me that it doesn't sound good. So overall, what do I think about this board? It is really cheap, and to anyone who is new to the rabbit hole and looking for a budget custom keyboard to start with, or anyone like me having this as a second keyboard, I think this is a great bang for the buck. Considering what you get out of this price point, I'm genuinely surprised. And to add to that note, I did use this keyboard as my second board whenever I game, or if I want to bring my keyboard to work and then use it, because it's really light. It's easy to move around and it's easy to carry around as well. So yeah, for this board, I would give this board a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of my video. Thank you for watching, and this is the part where I cut the video, right? Yeah. Oh. All right, let's do it.